Hey guys, welcome back to Vibe of Zodiac SZN. This is where I give you insight on what to look out for the season ahead. This one is going to be about Gemini, and my name is Latoya from Emerald Astrology. Welcome if you haven't met me before or just found my channel. Glad to have you here. I'm super excited to give you some insight of what Gemini season has to bring. It's been a while since I've done these videos, but I'm excited to build the momentum again. But before we dive into Gemini season, I have some announcements to make. So the first one is about if you're curious about your year ahead and what that looks like starting on your birthday, I have something for you, and it is called the Solar Crossing. So this is where I get you insight, basically give you a roadmap of what this year ahead looks like and what opportunities are for you, where you might find some roadblocks and challenges, and how to work around that or accept that as part of your journey. But basically, this roadmap is going to be a 14-page PDF document that you receive, plus a video covering what your year ahead looks like. So if you are a Gemini, this is the time to get your birthday reading, because your birthday is here. It's your birthday season. The second thing that I want to mention or announce is my upcoming events. So this is the days to mark your calendars for. So starting off on Sunday, May 31st, I'm going to be at Far Out Lounge from noon to 4 p.m. with the Austin Witches Market. On Saturday, June 6th, from 6 to 10 p.m., I'll be at Cosmic Pickle Road with the Austin Witches Market. Then on Friday, June 12th, from 7 to 11 p.m., I'll be at Buzzmill with the Austin Mystical Market. And then lastly, on Saturday, June 13th, from 7 to midnight, I will be at Radio East celebrating their 12th birthday. So if you're wanting a quick one-on-one astrology or tarot reading, you can find me at any of those places. And if you want a long, a year ahead reading, then book your solar crossing reading, because that's where I will help you with that. All right, let's dive into Gemini season. To start, I'm going to share my screen so you can see the chart that I am looking at. So we're starting on May 20th. Sun in Gemini. I'm going to shift the sun over. Yeah, Sun in Gemini. Here we are. And so this is Gemini season. Welcome. This is a great season to learn, explore, experiment, and get curious of what is around you and how you can grow and evolve from that standpoint. The sun gives its light, its warmth through this constellation of Gemini, and it's just a wonderful, pinpoint of like what to focus on and figure out what you can learn and apply in your life for the better. It's important for us to not get hung up on past or present obstacles. Instead, lean more into the spirit of Gemini, which is more about adaptability and questioning like how you can grow and expand from your standpoint. One thing you should know, the ruler of this sign is Mercury, and it will be entering its shadow. So it's going to be preparing for the shadow, the retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So yeah, we are going to get those inklings of what this retrograde is about. And just keep your notebooks handy. So to kind of give a brief, what each sign has to look out for, let's start with Aries. Let me go back here. So if you're Aries rising, Gemini lands in your third house of communication and local environment. So you'll be focusing on that this season. If you're Taurus rising, Gemini lands in your money house. So your finances, your income, your values. So you'll be focusing on that this season. If you're Gemini rising, you'll be focusing on yourself, your identity, your physical body, and vitality. If you're Cancer rising, Your Gemini house is in the 12th house of mental health and spirituality. So those are the things that you'll be focusing on. If you're a Leo rising like myself, you'll be focusing on your networks, your friend groups, and how you connect to organizations that are like-minded as you, because Gemini lands in your 11th house. It rules your 11th house. If you're a Virgo rising, then Gemini lands in your career house and how your invisibility, so how you are seen in the world and how you support others through the public sphere of your life. So that usually means career. So that's what you'll be focusing on this Gemini season. If you are Libra rising, you'll be focusing on higher education, foreign travels, and foreign places and people. So this is where the Gemini season is going to be activating for you. If you are Scorpio rising, Gemini lands in your 8th house of shared resources and vulnerability and change. So you'll be focusing in on that and how you connect with people in a more intimate way and share resources. Sagittarius rising, Gemini lands in your relationship house. So you'll be focusing on agreements, contracts, relationships, what partnerships works for you, what doesn't, roles that are required for you to evolve. If you're a Capricorn rising, then Gemini lands in your 6th house of work and physical health and lifestyle. So you'll be focusing on that. If you're Aquarius rising, Gemini lands in your 5th house of children, creative expression, hobbies. So you'll be focusing on that. Pisces rising, Gemini lands in your home, your house of home and belonging and family. And so you'll be focusing in on that. So that's a quick overview of what everyone is going to be experiencing based off of your rising sign, because like you saw, your rising sign dictates what your houses are. So that's something to keep in mind as I am talking through this video. So starting May 31st, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. And so at 9 degrees here. So we are basically celebrating what we've been through since the new moon in Sagittarius on December 19th of last year. So we're having our full circle moment, coming home moment, where we can be like, wow, we have grown this much. We explored this parts of ourselves that we might have been ignorant about and needed to learn and gain experience in. And now, what do you think of that? How do you feel about that? Full moons really are good at heightening our emotions, heightening our intuition, heightening what's been hiding in the psyche. And so with this full moon in Sagittarius, not only is all that coming to surface, but also you could have this insight on how much you have your philosophy in life has grown, how much you are living in alignment with your principles and your belief systems that you actually want to live out. And so be proud of yourself. If you can, go back and look at your journals, your photos, your calendar, and what you've been doing since December 19th. Then on June 1st, a day before my birthday, we have Mercury entering Cancer. So let me go ahead and shift that over here. Mercury in Cancer. So with this being here, Cancer is an emotional sign. It's a cardinal water sign. So it likes to start things based off of what it's feeling. And so with Mercury being here, a lot of information might be coming up around what we're thinking about, where we belong, how we feel, how we are associated to what we are around, and how that is impacting us emotionally and mentally, and where do we want to go from this? What do we need to protect? What do we need to nourish and nurture so that it can grow and become more and have a life of its own? So these are the things that Mercury is pulling up, and that we get to learn and explore more about ourselves, our inner life, and how we connect with our people or family members, and how it makes us feel like we belong to something, that we are rooted in something. So starting on June 1st, that we will have that kind of experience. Mercury will, again, be here for a while because of the stationing. But so we have this through most of this month, and then we'll worry about that when that comes. So that's something to be aware of, that begins. And then shifts the energy of Gemini. We become much more inwardly focused. We become more emotionally focused, and our emotional intelligence and how we're connecting with people in meaningful kinds of ways. And we may not even be the types that want to like scatter our energy into all these different circles, but maybe it's becoming more focused on the people that bring more meaning to us. Cancer can be kind of cliquish. So it likes its clans, it likes its people, it likes its groups, and it sticks to it. So that might be the overall vibe of Gemini season. It's like, who is my group? Who is my clan? Who is my clique? Like what are we working on together? And how can we nourish one another? So that's that Mercury getting that information there. Moving on to June 13th. We have Venus in Leo. So Venus enters Leo, and here, she's moving us just as fast as Mercury. It's like a degree every day or something like that. And yeah, so her being in Leo, we prepare for those grandiose demonstrations of love and appreciation, potential love bombing from people. Be careful, protect yourself. But you might feel this like, oh my gosh, everything feels so golden. It's like the golden hour every day. It kind of feels like with Venus being in Leo. And we just love our shiny things. We love our shiny people. We love being in places that makes us want to shine and feel that appreciation. And so we'll be doing things that could create those kinds of dynamics and build relationships with people that creates those conditions. So yeah, if you're feeling glittery, this is definitely Venus and Leo doing her work. Really excited for this one because it transits my ascendant, and hopefully Venus will help me clear up my skin and stop eating so much cheesecake. It's like it's been a problem, you guys. Okay. Oops. Okay, so to kind of back up a little bit, I didn't realize I kind of did that. Stupid. Mercury enters its shadow June 12th, so day before Venus enters Leo. Mercury enters its shadow. So these are the lessons of the retrograde is starting to bubble up. So keep your notebook in handy. I just bought my new journals that I can fit into my cover, my leather book cover. I love it so much. It's just my favorite. This actually was the journal I got during my honeymoon with my husband. So it's nice to have it back. But yeah, so definitely keep an eye out on like the things that are like starting to feel like it's not in alignment anymore. Like there's a lot of like mistakes happening, hiccups, technology breakdowns, communication breakdowns. These things can start to happen, and giving insight on what needs to be reviewed, adjusted during the Mercury retrograde cycle. So be aware of that. And then June 14th, we have the new moon in Gemini. So this is, let's get it closer to the sun. So new moon in Gemini is going to be 23 degrees. Looks like, is it 23 or 24? One of those degrees, sorry. So new moon in Gemini lands on the 14th. And so here we would have the great opportunity to set an intention, think back on what you've been experiencing since Gemini season began. So that is right. So that is May 20th, right? So think back on what has began and what's been kind of catching your attention. What have you been really wanting to start but haven't yet? This is a great day, June 14th, to set that intention to get the momentum moving in that direction. So yeah, what do you want to do differently around this time? What do you want to learn next? Who will be your teacher? Gemini loves their teachers, love their books or podcasts, any places that information is being given. Gemini loves it. Or are you the teacher? Do you know something worthwhile that you can start expressing and sharing with your local community? This is definitely the time to set that intention and start that journey. So that's June 14th, you guys, new moon in Gemini. All right, some special dates that I want you to keep an eye out for. I got some challenging and sweet dates here. So we're shifting back. So May 22nd, we have the Sun conjunct Uranus. So this can be a little difficult here. It's unpredictable, it's rebellious. Maybe not be the day to start something if you're like, I want to do something that is steady and sustained, because it's not going to do it with the Sun and Uranus. It's like there's some things that needs to be incorporated. You need to incorporate all kinds of different information and bring it together and synthesize it. And you don't know what the outcome might be. Or just in general, just people are feeling unpredictable. And so there's just unpredictable elements that you're having to deal with during this day. But on the positive side of this transit, it's a new cycle of creative expression. So yeah, if you're wanting to do something different, be a little rebellious, lean into the innovation. Like this is definitely the day to push your own status quo. On May 25th, we have Mars square Pluto. So this transit here, this is very volatile. This is very intense. This is very powerful. And so we might be dealing with power struggles here. We might be dealing with possessiveness over ideas, with things, and this is challenging. So this is definitely not a day to try to force someone to do something that they don't want to do, because you're likely to have a fight during this day. This is definitely the way to use this transit in the positive side is becoming aware of power dynamics and making a decision that helps you feel empowered in that relationship, in that connection. So if that's severing, using Mars energy and cutting the ties to that person that seems to be overpowering and power hungry, then that's the way to use this transit. If you're like more on the Pluto side and you're dealing with a person that's super impulsive and not as intentional as you might be being Pluto, this might be the time to be more secretive on the decisions that you're making and not necessarily declare what you're going to do, but do it in secrecy. So May 25th is a little touchy there. We're dealing with some really powerful energies. Lastly, I want to mention is June 9th. We have Venus conjunct Jupiter. So this is a beautiful transit at 25 degrees in Cancer. So this is sweet. This is very, very, very sweet. The vision I'm getting is a waterfall and a lovely, lovely space. And so, yeah, this is like, maybe this is a time where we're able to rejuvenate ourselves, like get our cups filled with some really clean, nourishing water. It could be, just being in beautiful spaces that do this, being in beautiful company that does this, and that from within that space bring opportunity for luxury and love and happiness and pleasure in that day. So that is something to definitely look out for if you're wanting to do go on a date or do something really nice for someone. I suggest June 9th be the day to do it, because that Venus Jupiter is very memorable, I think, and especially Jupiter being exalted in Cancer. Okay, so that is my thoughts about Gemini season. Remember, with all that is happening this month, do not forget that this is your chance to test your boundaries, learn something new, share what you know, and explore what is possible for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.